Congratulations to the class of 2022. This time of year, commencement speeches are everywhere. There are so many great speeches given by everyone from famous people like T. Swift's speech at NYU and graduating students from the graduating class. Today, I thought it would be fun to give my own commencement speech. Welcome to the podcast. If you're new, I'm so glad that you joined me. Today, I'm enjoying a delicious chocolate smoothie. Last time it was a nice glass of wine, but today I'm going a little healthier, I guess. A nice chocolate smoothie. This one has a chocolate protein powder, frozen banana, peanut butter, frozen cherries, and a really tasty mocha mix from Kenco, I think is how you say it. It's a company that sends you powders to create your own smoothies. Not paid for, not sponsored. I just really like them because it's helped cut down on the amount of things that I have to buy to create my smoothie. So I really like the mocha one. It's definitely the boost that I need before I head off to trivia tonight at our local pizza place. Last week was my first time placing. Our group came in second. And now I feel a little bit of pressure. So hopefully this will get my brain clicked on and maybe we'll place first. I'm not going to put that much pressure on myself. No. Second was great. And we're going to go have fun. Anyway, back to today's episode. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about commencement speeches. There are not many speeches that I remember, but I guess that's the point. You're meant to take what you heard and apply it to your life, right? Like you're not supposed to just copy and paste the speech and then say, okay, cool, I'm going to go do the same thing. It's not intended to be a rule, but rather a guide. So after listening to a few speeches this graduation season, I've created a commencement speech template, in case you're ever writing a commencement speech. And the formula is one that I hear when I listen to many motivational speeches, big moment speeches, i.e. commencement speeches. But this little template is one that you could apply with your students or yourself or your kids, whoever, and see if they could come up with a really powerful motivational speech. So here are the 4 things that I hear in every motivational big moment speech. Number 1, start with something funny and relatable, right? Like everybody comes up and they have like a funny anecdote or a cute joke. For example, Taylor Swift made the joke about writing the song 22 and it's the graduating class of 2022. I thought that was really cute. Then the speech transitions into a brief overview of yourself at that point in time, i.e. graduation, starting a new job, whatever the speech is about. It's kind of the point of view that the speech teller, the writer, takes. Next, give 3 to 4 key pieces of advice or things that you've learned along the way. So don't be afraid to add in anecdotes and keep the things relatable. To me, the most successful speeches are the ones that really resonate with me in some way or another. And then finally, they all seem to end with a very poignant, yet often cliche quote or call to action. So let's see how this template works on the commencement speech that I wrote. Here we go. Welcome to all the important people. Well, if this was an actual speech, I would say specific names, but since this speech is just to the general masses, I'm going to say all the important people, which is you. Usually, these types of speeches are around 20 minutes. However, your graduation does not play by the rules, and so I'll stick to brief sound bites so that you can reuse them in a funny IG reel later. You're welcome. When I graduated, we didn't have social media on the level that it is today. We barely had good internet access. But there is one skill that will be essential as you step forth into your new role, whatever that may be. This skill is something you already had when you started your educational journey. Sometimes education makes it stronger, and sometimes it learns the skill right out of you. Have you guessed what I'm talking about yet? If not, allow me to give you a few more clues. This skill will be just as important 200 years from now as it was 200 years ago. It's also completely renewable, sustainable, and equitable. Sounds pretty awesome, right? I'm talking about the skill of creativity. Creativity is one of those things we are praised for showing as a young child. You might remember someone telling you how creative it was to color your sun a mix of yellow, red, and orange instead of just yellow. Or maybe you creatively built a Hot Wheels track around your house and systematically tested each car to see which one was the undebatable best, and thus the one that your younger brother can't have. Each of us is naturally creative. Creativity is not just your ability to draw or make music. It's not about how well you dance or if you can write a bestseller. Creativity is more personal than that. It's all about how you see the world. It's about taking the materials you have and making them into something amazing, even though the odds were against you. Creativity is imagination. When's the last time you really played? If creativity is imagination, then we need playtime to spark that imagination. So this is the part where people get a little squirmy when I talk about creativity and imagination. Why? Because we're adults. And we believed for too long that adults are supposed to do and not do certain things. But I'm here to tell you that is BS. Totally better than you society. What do you think I was going to say? Better than you society, or BS as I call it, is the idea that because someone looks professional or is always poised or is pulled together, that they are somehow better than you. That's not true, but we often believe it to be true and thus suppress our imaginations and creativity. But I have a secret. Come closer. I can help you get your creativity back. I know 4 ways or ideas to help you say goodbye to BS and hello to fun. Number 1, go analog once in a while. Seriously, put down the dang screen. If you have an idea, write it with a pen on paper. Instead of taking a quick snap with your phone, sketch out what you're viewing. If you're missing a friend, drop a card in the mailbox. They still have stamps, you know. Going analog will keep your mind from being distracted. It'll give your mind a break. I love technology. In fact, as I move into my next year of teaching, my 5th year as a teacher, I will be teaching online again, and I love it. But because technology is the window to the world, it's so easy to peek into other windows like email or social media and get distracted and then lose your creativity. So go analog. Put technology down and try it old school. Number 2, acknowledge your inner critic and then tell him to kick rocks. We all have one. Mine is a real witch of a woman who is a pro at the backhanded compliment. You know the one. Like the character from Mean Girls, a Regina George type character. Yeah, that's what my inner critic sounds like. Yours might be a ghostly creature who used to hide under your bed. Regardless, it's time to give that inner critical voice a name. And it's best if it's something silly. Then, the next time they start talking smack, say, "Hello, silly name. Glad to see you. You can go now. Okay, bye." Number 3, don't be a victim of perceptual judgment. It's a weird word, I know. I feel like I made it up, but maybe I didn't. If you work in the mental health realm, you might be able to offer some clarity on what this would actually be called. But to me, I call it perceptual judgment. Perceptual judgment is when you perceive that someone else is judging you. And so you decide to just judge them right back and then become a real jerk about it. The problem is the whole judgment piece took place in your head. The other person probably didn't even notice whatever it is that you think they were judging. And now you've missed a connection with another human because of an issue you made up in your mind. Don't miss out on a cool opportunity because you perceive that other people are judging you. They're probably not. They're most likely not. And then number 4, life is not a competition, so don't be afraid to take on a challenge. This is my favorite idea and yet one of the hardest for me to really give into. I know life is not a competition. I know that in my head, but yet I still compare my place to others. So I try to challenge myself. Usually it's something short, 10, maybe 30 days of something like writing a poem each day, going outside for a walk. I took up needlepoint recently. The point is that I make myself the competition so that I'm not comparing my life to someone else's. Instead, I'm comparing my day 1 to day 30. Day 1, I had a piece of paper, and on day 30, I had a little notebook of 30 different poems. I'm the competition, but I'm not competing with anyone else. So when's the last time you played? I hope that after today, you'll be able to answer that question with yesterday. Don't be afraid to be imaginative. We need big imaginations and lots of creativity in this world. So I'll end with the words of a timeless and creative Maya Angelou. You cannot use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. Congratulations, class of 2022, and may you always find a way to express your imagination.